Hey, any of the soft corals or yumas you see in today's video, we can ship them internationally. No permits required. Just shoot us an email for a quote. Once they've bleached, it does take, and these ones are really big. There's things like discosoma, these types of much, and they can take over quite quickly. Yuma, you get the point. Now I realize that's not really a very in the aquarium trade for us in Canada. That's where we're shooting from. What is going on, my Review fan? March here. This is Fragbox TV. Welcome back to the channel. What is this? What is this beautiful, bubbly, mushroom-looking coral we are giving our attention today? Yuma, Y-U-M-A. Love these things, and I want to share my love with them with you. Okay, if you're new to the channel, hello and welcome to our store here in Toronto. Our shop specializes in, bam, these things, saltwater aquariums, but more specifically than just saltwater aquariums, the stuff, these little loving, like little plants that go inside that we call corals. A little bit of fish, more really the corals. That's our passion. That's our thing. Okay, yumas. All the introductions out of the way. I really love yumas for a number of reasons. One, I like any coral that is relatively easy. It's a mushroom. I like easy corals. I like zoas, mushrooms, softies. Hey, if you're watching this anywhere in the world and you want us to ship you some, we can. If they're mushroom corals, zoanthids, soft corals, leathers, stuff like that that don't require permits, they're not covered under any sort of CITES, we can ship them. Today, actually, we have an order going to, let's go check it out. Let me show you this. This one is going out actually to Dubai. So like that, we can ship, we have another one going out to Italy, just zoanthids. So anywhere you're watching from, you can email us for a quote. Just for reference, that one to Dubai was about $100 Canadian, like maybe $70, $80 US for shipping. Okay, let me show you what else we have in terms of Yuma. Now these corals, I find that number one issue I see with hobbyists trying these for the first time is over lighting them. They really do best in super low lighting. I will grab my par meter and I'll show you guys how low we're talking about here. Now this device we actually rent it out, so if you're ever here in the area, actually what am I saying? We ship it across Canada. You can get it on our site, you leave a deposit, and this is a really handy tool. It'll actually show you the photoactive radiation. Is that what PAR stands for? Anyways, it's going to show you the amount of light with the digital readout, so you're not guessing. You can actually see and set your lights so that you're giving corals the appropriate amount of PAR. We'll stick it here next to where we're growing them, and let's look over at our PAR meter. Bang, 50, 60, no problem. Even lower than that, yumas really don't mind. I would say up to 100 PAR, no issue. More than that, you put them any higher, very easy coral to bleach and very hard to recover. Once they've bleached, it does take quite a bit of time. Look at this stunning one. This is one of my favorite ones we have right now, just because of this white streak that's coming through the center, right to the skirt. I just love it. It's such an unusual piece. And these ones are really big. This is nice too, purple with the orange. There's another one. And the thing about yumas is, in terms of growth, they don't grow that fast if we're comparing them against other soft corals, mushrooms in particular. Things like discosoma, these types of mushrooms, you plant one or two in your tank and in no time, very easy to cover an entire rock. And the same goes for Rhodactis mushrooms. We grow these pretty quick. There's quite a few different types, variants of Rhodactis mushrooms we're growing in the basement, and they can take over quite quickly. You end up with a lot of heads. Same cannot be said in my experience for the yumas. Now, there is one variety, the Black Widow. Those ones grow really quick. The other ones, you sacrifice growth speed for some of the most beautiful colors of any corals out there. So now one question we do get quite often is how to tell the difference between a Yuma and a Florida Ricordea, like this one here. Now I think discosomas, you can kind of see right away that they got this sort of soft body to them. You really wouldn't confuse discosoma with Ricordea, but Ricordea with Yuma, I can see how many hobbyists struggle to make that distinction. There's Ricordea and there's a Yuma. Ricordea, Yuma, you get the point. The Yumas are usually bigger, and how do you explain it? It's just they are usually larger bubbles and they kind of radiate in a different pattern than the Ricordeas, but they are quite similar. I've never seen Ricordeas get quite as large as Yumas. This one, Yuma, This one, Ricordea. Ricordea, we also find these ruffles. You can kind of see how they form these lines, and not uncommon to find a bunch of mouths on Ricordea. Yuma, you're almost always going to find one single mouth dead center, where Ricordeas grow not always so much in a circular fashion. Now I realize that's not really a very scientific answer or very helpful explanation. You just kind of get the difference with time. They're very similar care requirements, but I would say that Ricordea right now, at the time that we're filming, which is August of 2025, Ricordea very rare, most of them bleached in the ocean, very few in the aquarium trade. For us in Canada, that's where we're shooting from, quite rare at this time. Yuma, also rare, but not as rare as Florida Ricordea. Now Ricordea, the Yuma, sorry, I'm confusing myself, it goes by the name Ricordea Yuma. The other one is Florida Ricordea. So I think that's where hobbyists often get confused. The names are almost the same, and the way they look, very, very similar. Both beautiful in their own right. I would say though the Yumas, the ones that we're focusing on today, even lower light. I've seen Ricordeas get used to higher light. Yumas really just, I can't stress enough, give them that low light, and you're going to be blessed with one of the most beautiful corals in the hobby. The par running here, or basically under a ledge in this tank, it's getting shadowed out by this large toadstool, and under here still not an issue, still happy. Par of about 20. Over here, this one, par of about 50. So again, I keep coming back to the light because I see a lot of people grab them and put them up high and then wonder why they have lost color so quickly. Now, if you want to feed them, you can feed what we feed just about everything here in the shop. If you can find it locally, it's available on our site. Look for Vitalis. Awesome, not only fish food, not only the only fish food that we feed to all the fish in the store, but also a line of coral foods. But look for this one. These might be a little bit too big. These are designed for anemones. This is a powder food that they're absolutely going to love. So just look for Vitalis mixed reef food. I've done a ton of feeding videos on these in the past. Okay, not a Yuma, but I still had to share this with you because I have such a love of mushrooms. Recently came in. We've been calling these popcorn mushrooms. Okay, got that out of the way. Now, in terms of colors, Yumas can come in basically unlimited. There's always new varieties. Orange being the most common, sort of like orange with blue, orange with black, orange with purple. Usually dominant orange color, but sometimes we find funky ones like this. Purple and green ones. Really bright orange ones. Now this is actually a frag, something I've never tried doing before, but we had such large ones, so I thought, can you frag Yumas? And apparently you can. It's just about fully healed over. It started like the size of an apple. Now these frags are maybe like quarter size. He looks just about ready to go. Just want to see a little bit more healing over there on the right side. And the way I fragged it was just with a bandsaw, cutting it right through the mouth, cutting it into 4 pieces. And then it needs about, this has been about 3 weeks since it's been fragged, but it looks like it's almost healed over. So definitely can frag them. I think if they are big enough, you could even try with a razor blade to cut them. That's how we do some other large mushrooms like fire mushrooms, different types of rhodactis mushrooms when they get to a certain size, and even bounce mushrooms. We use a razor blade to just cut them directly through the mouth, and you end up with 3 or 4 perfectly sized little ones once it heals over. Okay, now let's talk about Yumas and Pests. Do you have to dip them? Yes and no. If you want to, look for this stuff as a dip. Why do I say yes and no, and why do I say this stuff? 2 Little Fishies, awesome product. It's what we use here. I'm not sponsored to say this. It's just my preferred overall dip for everything. It's harsh on the pests that you don't want. It's very light. You're not going to harm the Yuma or any coral that you use it on. Buy it at your local fish store. Support them. If they don't have it, then you can buy it from us. And if we happen to be your local fish store, then great, also buy it from us. But otherwise, just any store you go into, you're gonna find that for sure. Why do I say you don't have to dip them? Because there's really no pests that prey specifically on Yumas. There's no Yuma eating nudibranches. There's no Yuma eating flatworms. There's no Yuma eating spiders. Specific pests that we find across other species of corals like zoanthids, which have, in my experience, the most known pests. I can think of 4 really quickly without even trying. Acropora, lots and lots of pests. And, we have Montipora eating nudies that really only eat Montipora. Yuma, along with basically all other mushrooms, you don't really have to worry. Now, when would you want to dip? If you are lucky enough to score, let's say, a rock, like a big rock. These are not yumas, but I'll just show you as an example. There could be something living inside the rock itself. You know, I've found crabs, mantis shrimp, bobbit worms. There's so much that could be, oh, maybe right there in that little cave. How cool would it be if something just poked its head out for the video? So that's when you would want to dip, something like this. If you're getting an entire rock and you want to make sure there's nothing inside that you can't see, that isn't going to directly affect the yumas, but it could, in theory, eat some of the other corals that you don't want to have them getting eaten. So, now, I'm a little bit mushroom obsessed, so here in the basement of the store, I've been growing my collections of different Rhodactis, Discosomas, this monster of a mushroom, and anytime I find any cool yumas that I think are worth culturing. I got the Godzillas growing nicely from one, look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 little ones growing out really well. And then I have this special one. I finally made a frag of it. It presented us with a little baby, so it's available now, and it's like a bounce Yuma. It's really, really funky. It almost looks like fake, like plastic, the way it presents these big white swollen vesicles. It's a really cool piece and looks unlike any of the other ones. Then in the corner here, I have a little hoarding, just a little pile of Ricordea. Again, super rare right now from the time that we're filming this. Maybe in the future they recover and they're going to go back to being super common, not rare at all. But as it stands right now, I'm holding on to these ones just in case, as a little sort of stockpile insurance plan of Ricordias. We used to get some crazy colors. These ones are pretty common. Blues, pinks, even seen some rainbow ones with lots of different colors. I think that's it for this video. We covered just about everything there is to know about yumas. Just keep in mind, lower light. If there is a coral you want to see us do a video on in particular, we basically have unlimited coral here in the store. So many different species. You can comment below and ask us to do one. Maybe it's chalice coral, tongue coral, pipe organ, clove polyps, zoanthids. I've done, I don't know, 1.5 million different videos over the years because they're one of my favorites. Just let us know what you want to see next and we would be happy to accommodate. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next episode of Fragbox TV.